last weekend, but Arsenal's draw at Nottingham Forest meant they extended their lead over Manchester City and Aston Villa to 7 points, as both were unexpectedly beaten. So, will we see another twist this weekend? Jay Bothroyd still here for the next hour. We'll start with Arsenal, home game against Manchester United. We've been talking about this in the last hour. And Manchester United, we know that they are dangerous. But how disappointed would you be if Arsenal don't get all 3 points there?
We are talking about Man United here still, right? We're not talking about a team that's
Arsenal
like
7 points at the top
mid-table
of the league
team.
and at home.
Yes, but...
And top of the Champions League.
Yeah, I know these things. But nevertheless, Man United still have very good players, individual players, but then Carrick's gone in there now and give them a new lease on life. They're playing with confidence. They're playing in a system that suits all of the players. He's got a good squad there as well. I just feel like in order for Arsenal to win that game, they need to be on top of their game. Whereas before, Arsenal could go and win that game in second gear. Now they have to be on top of their game. Carrick's got them believing in themselves. They've got some really good players there. Players are back from the African nations as well. So it's going to be a really tough game. And if you said to me, you know, is it disappointing if they don't win the game like you just have? No, it's not disappointing. I'd take a draw as well. Getting 1 point is good. We're talking about Man United. And I think it's not the Man United. I mean, I know it's only 2 weeks in the job. But again, I think Man United, with that in this system, will get more consistent performances out of themselves than in the 3-4-2-1 that Amorim was playing.
Now, all season Arsenal have been quite rightly praised for their squad depth, but Nwaneri's close to going out on loan. Alexander Zinchenko potentially joining Ajax. That would be a permanent deal. There's also clubs looking at Christian Norgard as well, who only signed in the summer. So what does that tell you, one, about Arteta's confidence in the current squad? But then I also want to know what you think in particular about Ethan Nwaneri going.
Obviously, Arsenal's got one of the best squads in the world now. And he has that luxury now of letting players go out on loan if he feels so. When it comes to Ethan, I mean, Ethan's one of the best young players in the world. And I was in a bit of a similar situation as Ethan, and so was my youth team. When you're limited to minutes because the players in front of you are so good, it's hard to break into the first team. I mean, to be honest, listen, I support Arsenal, and you know, I was in the system myself, you know, from like 10 years old. But if you don't have a pathway into the first team, you have to play first team football somehow. The only way for Ethan now to go out and progress as a player is to play in men's football week in, week out. So I think it's a fantastic loan for him. I think going to play underneath De Zerbi is, again, a fantastic move for him. Marseille, huge club. I think Arteta and De Zerbi have similarities, as in high tempo, pressing. So I think it's a really good move. But I do feel like at Arsenal, you can't have two things. You can't bring through young players and be really successful. I think you have to sacrifice one for the other. And I feel like Arsenal right now are at the point where they're bringing in players that are going to perform right now, week in, week out. And then the likes of Max Dahlmann's, Nwaneri's, Miles Skelly's, people like that are going to play less and less because Arsenal need success right now.
So if they win the title, could they...
They're going to go and get better players again.
No, I was thinking if they win the title, they could then sell a couple of players and bring in... Like Miles Skelly gets more minutes, Nwaneri takes someone's place.
Listen, especially Nwaneri, again, I think Nwaneri is a fantastic player, and we've seen him put in fantastic performances. But right now, in the position that he plays in, he's got Saka in front of him, Madueke in front of him. When he plays central, he's got Odegaard in front of him. And whether you like it or not, people say, oh, but he's a young player, he can wait.
You can't
Players
want to
play. You can't say that. That's just a way for managers to kind of make excuses for you to sit there in the background and take your time. Because ultimately, as a player, whether you're 18 or you're 25, if you believe you're good enough, you want to play. And Ethan believes he's good enough and he does want to play. And the only way he can do that right now is by going on loan. So again, I think it's a fantastic move. I think we're going to see, we might see the likes of Miles Skelly leaving in the future because he's going to want to play. He was an England international. But he's not going to be going to the World Cup now because he's not playing. He's going to want to play for England. The only way he can do that is by playing. He's got Calafiori in front of him. He's got Incapio in front of him. You know, Timber plays in front of him at left back. So he's going to find it hard to break into the team. But again, that's just credit to what Arteta's brought into the club. He's turned Arsenal, and the question marks over Arsenal was always the depth in the squad. You know, no one really questioned the starting 11. It was the depth. The reason why Arsenal couldn't get over the line. Now Arsenal have the depth. There's no excuses. It's great for Arteta. It's great for Arsenal fans. And unfortunately, it's not that great for young players coming through. But ultimately, you know, you can have a really good football education just like I did. I had the Invincibles in front of me. How are you going to break through when you've got the Invincibles in front of you, the likes of Henry, Bergkamp, Carnu, or Vieira, all these kind of players, midfield? It's really, really hard. But nevertheless, you get a great football education while you're doing it.
Well, that's what happened with Mark Gahey at Chelsea. He's now, having gone to other clubs on loan, then to Crystal Palace, he's now at Manchester City. How important is he going to be for Manchester City in this title race? They've got Wolves, by the way, 3 o'clock tomorrow.
He's huge. Because as much as we talk about Man City, how they attack, how they keep the ball, they look really, really vulnerable every time another team attacks or play counter-attack football. Kusanov, young player. I think he's a good player and I think he will come good. But right now, he's not ready to step into that back four and play week in, week out. Alien, is that how you pronounce his name? Come from Watford, young player again. Very good player. Alain, sorry. Very good player. But is he ready to play week in, week out right now? I don't think so. O'Reilly, not a natural left back. You know, Gvardiol's injured. Gay coming in now is absolutely key.
Well, the top team in the country right now. You must be very confident now.
Absolutely buzzing. When you look at the current situation on paper, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, won 7 out of 7 in the CL, 1 foot, I'd say, in the final of the Carabao Cup, and a nice, easy home game against Wigan in the FA Cup.
That won't be easy.
Heard they're easy to get at, Carragher. But it's a period in time now where it's interesting because I think the actual games that are being played, people aren't watching Arsenal, people aren't blown away by the performances. But like when you look at it on paper, like I've just spelt it out, the game has probably never been harder to win, never been harder to score. We're coming up against teams that are changing the whole style of play when they play against us to sit back and try and grind out a draw like we saw against Forest. And we're sort of just going through every single game, knowing for a fact that we probably aren't going to lose. I looked at the Forest game, right? We played 4 games away in 4 different competitions in the space of 10 days. First top flight team to ever do that. We won 3, drew 1, scored 10 and conceded 4. And everyone was only focused on the draw, on the dropped points. What's really frustrating me is actually the reaction from Arsenal fans. I think everyone else has sort of chinned the fact that Arsenal are probably going to win the league this season. But the issue is coming from the Arsenal fans. Like what we were saying about before, the power of social media and the power of us talking about, is this Arsenal's year, putting that pressure on ourselves, being a bit too emotional. It does transcend onto the pitch, especially with the way that Arteta has connected this fan base. And what is really frustrating is in the stadium, you're hearing a bit of, it's really arrogant, I think, from Arsenal fans, the way that we are behaving when we have absolutely no right to be criticising what this team is doing.
Mm. I was thinking about this. I watched you in Inter Milan. I didn't think you'd win that game. Just when I saw the team, so no Declan Rice, no Gabriel. I think Odegaard was on the bench, and you're going to the best team in Italy, and you won easily.
Yeah.
And I know you just want to win the league. Arsenal fans just want to win the league. But when you see yourselves where you are in the Champions League, won 7 out of 7, you've beat Bayern Munich this year, probably used to probably the best teams in Europe in the first half of the season. Would you almost look and think, we can win more than just the league here? There's a lot on the table here. We could have a really, really special season.
100%. And I don't want to look too far ahead because realistically, I'll take the league and I'll walk off. I couldn't care less about anything else. Anything else would be a bonus. But we have 2 teams. I was on the train up here with Ben before and we went through our second team.
Kepa,
Ben White. Kepa, Ben White, Mosquera, Hincapié, Luis Skelly, Marino, Eze, Norgard, Madueke, Jesus, Martinelli. That is a second team. We have the squads to compete on all four fronts. Zero excuse not to. And the first time that I came here, I said, the only thing that's stopping us is us. And people took the piss out of it, but it's a fact. The only team that will stop us is us. We are the best team on the planet.
Whoa. Rory has something to say about that.
Okay, so if you're saying the only team that can stop you winning the league or, winning a Champions League is yourself, if you don't win the league, will that be the biggest bottle job in Premier League history?
I think it would be, yeah. I think it would be, because I think that we're head and shoulders above the rest. I don't think that our competitors are on top form. You look around, City, Pep might be leaving. There's a little bit of panic, I think, at City. Liverpool are a little bit of a mess, uncertainty with the manager. Chelsea, Rory wants the manager out already. Tottenham are barely even worth a mention. United...
We're back.
Very potentially back. I might have missed someone, but we...
West Ham.
We're at a point in time now where I think Arteta has epitomised the phrase, trust the process, because we've been through years of, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And now we're here. We've got the best squad, I think, in Europe. I don't think that's even debatable. All the players are friends on and off the pitch. Arteta's handpicked all of these players. And I think we're set up to dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. It's just if we can get used to doing that, I think more will come.
Scholesy, what are your thoughts on this sort of Arsenal team? You've seen a little bit of back and forth with, was it Theo Walcott and Wazza on the side of the pitch?
Did you?
Yeah, he said, Wayne said they'd battered this Arsenal team, the 2018, which I think was actually Man United's probably best team. Is that fair? That sort of 2008, that was
the best team. Yeah. Probably difference of opinion. I think Gary loves that team, the 2008 team, because of the quality of it and the speed more than anything. I always went back to the 99 team. I loved them 4 centre forwards. I just loved, was it Cole, York, Sheringham, Solskjaer. The two of them won't do it after an hour.
I know we messed up the treble against Portsmouth that year in 08. Do you think if they managed to get over the line, because it was Portsmouth-Cardiff final, do you think...
It'd have been better.
Do you think you look at that 08 team as better then?
City did the double on United that year, so we can't say it, that's why.
Hang on a minute, I thought this was Arsenal's section.
Oh, you're done now. You said it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because I always think 08 team's better.
Pardon?
Yeah. I always feel like it's just a touch better.
Benjani.
That might be age.
Remember that game? Yeah? Benjani.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Yeah. What was the question? I can't.
I think my thought on Arsenal is, I think we don't recognise a team as being a great team until they've actually won something, and that's right. So, when Wayne said that, we batter that team.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would batter this Arsenal team just because they're so strong defensively. I don't think you can batter them. I do think that team in 2008 is better than the Arsenal team, of course, but I do think because you haven't won anything, you've got to almost get over that line, and then even though it's the same players and the same manager, everyone will just have a different sort of thought process around them.
You can't say it's the greatest team on the planet until they've won a game. Until they've won trophies. Now, one thing Arsenal still haven't done, they haven't won a big game. Like beat a Liverpool or a Manchester City, they've still not done it. And I think I said earlier in the season that I can't see them winning the league unless they start beating those type of teams. But looking at how many points and Liverpool's, your Cities, look how many points they're dropping, I don't think they're going to have to.
No,
I think it could be a canter.
I don't think it is all about the big games. I know we haven't been that great in them, but we've been very,
this
very
season
consistent.
it isn't because they're dropping so many points at other places. In other years gone by, City would be close here, Liverpool would be close here, and that's the time when you have to win them games.
But I think a lot of the difference now with Arsenal this season is I think a lot of teams are respecting us. That when they come to us, they know that they're in for... If they open up, we will punish them. You saw Man City for the first time probably in Pep Guardiola's career. He sat back, 10 men behind the ball. It shows you where Arsenal are at. I think Arsenal are a very feared team to play. And when, like you said about Inter Milan...
You are right what you're saying, but you're saying this as if this is a new... This has been going on for like 50 years. Anyone goes to...
10 years, that.
Any top team who were the best team in the league or going for the league, the team... I think Stevie Gerrard said something yesterday, and I think he had a point about Slot. Slot keeps going on about low blocks, as if like it's a new thing. It was happened when we weren't as good as this Liverpool team, but it still happened to us at Anfield. So you're right, and every team finds it tough, but it's not a new thing. It's every
That's what I
The
was
spotlight is firmly on Old Trafford as Manchester United prepare for a blockbuster clash against league leaders Arsenal. The big question dominating the build-up: can United stop Mikel Arteta's side? With Arsenal flying and full of confidence, Michael Carrick's tactical approach is under intense scrutiny as he looks for a way to disrupt the Gunners' rhythm and momentum. Pundits David Reed and Michael Brown weigh in on the showdown, breaking down the key battles, game plans, and pressure points that could decide the contest. For United, this is about belief and execution. For Arsenal, it's another chance to assert their authority in the title race. One result could swing the narrative, and that's what makes this clash unmissable. Fire soccer ball.